The regional model, it was great for baseball financially. I actually think the crisis that we're seeing right now presents baseball with a great opportunity. The regional model forced us local, local, local. I think as we move forward and as the landscape continues to change, we have an opportunity to make our sport more national, increase our reach, deal with the blackout issue that has plagued us for years. And I think, as with every crisis, there's an opportunity to make your business better.
So these reports that I've seen, and we've all probably seen, are true, that you're looking to take all of your media rights national like the other major sports leagues have.
Yeah, we need a more national strategy. We're blessed with a huge amount of content, 2,430 games. Because of the amount of content, I think there will be some local component, but I think the strategy needs to be more local, the strategy needs to be more national, and our reach needs to be more national.
Interesting. CC, backstage we were talking about one of the issues with baseball. It's such a regional sport that breeds passion, of course, and the fandom that makes all of these leagues successful, but it's also a pitfall in that you need as many people as possible to see the Ohtanis, to see the Judges, the Sotos, the Guerreros, the Skeens, et cetera, to grow the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way we'll be able to make it a national sport is kind of get rid of the regional sport networks. And, people need to see the Corbin Carrolls of the world. And I think basketball and football I think basketball just in general does a great job of, it's not regional. We know the guys in Oklahoma City. We know the guys in these smaller markets in Minnesota, where it's harder to find that in baseball because, the regional sports networks have such a hold on these teams. So I think, it's a great way for us to grow these players' profiles nationally, getting away from, such small kind of regional networks.
Albert?
Yeah, I think I'm with CZ. I think, the only way, and the commissioner has done a good job about getting rid of it and try to see the Ohtani and the talents, if you on the East Coast, you have a chance, to watch. I think sometimes, when you're here in the West Coast, you can't see much talent sometimes. But I think, through the programs and through the things that the commissioner has done in Major League Baseball has been unbelievable. I think, since he took over the office, he's done an unbelievable job, to continue to grow the sport. Not just here in America, but as well as taking in, I would say I was part of the last couple of years, the London series, being part of this year's series, it was unbelievable that about close to 50,000, 60,000 people were attending, and that's something that's really special. Also, in Latin America, when you're talking about the World Baseball Classic, when you go down and see a series down in Miami or in Houston, it's about the talent and it's about growing the game, but the impact, that those two programs has made around globally.
CC, the NFL and NBA have done, I think, most would admit, a pretty remarkable job in marketing their best players, their stars. How can Major League Baseball improve on that? I know you credit your mom for your love of baseball, but when we were also talking backstage, you mentioned sort of looking up to these star pitchers, aces, as you call them, and as we know them. Do we need to create more stars in the game for people like you and younger people to look up to?
I don't know if it's more stars, because I think we have stars. I think we have Judge, we have Ohtani, we have Soto. It's star pitchers. It's starting pitchers. I think when I was a kid, I would go to the game to watch Dave Stewart against Randy Johnson, or Pedro Martinez against Roger Clemens, or whoever the star starting matchup was. So I think, the rule changes, getting back to the athleticism in the game and all these different things. I think it changes who you draft as starting pitchers, and we get back to those star matchups. So now you're going to Dodger Stadium to watch whatever starter against the visiting, and that's the matchup that you're watching. I think as far as us marketing our players, I think the NBA and the NFL do a great job of using their partners. They're whoever it is, like State Farm for the NFL, and you see different guys, and it doesn't have to be their top tier guy. You see different guys in their commercials all the time. So I think with baseball, we're trying to do the same thing, where any partner that we have when we're marketing, it's a commercial, we want to put our players out there. And it doesn't have to be Judge, it doesn't have to be Soto, it could be Freddie Freeman, it can be Mookie, it could be these different guys. And I think the other leagues do a really great job of putting their not so much high-level stars, but the mid-level guys in their spots too.
How are you thinking about that?
But to go to that, I think the player had to willing to get help and to coming. I think, now every time they come to New York, I mean, there's a lot of players that come into the office because there is a program, that they're able to marketing some of these players, and I think that's something that the player need to be willing to do it, something that we didn't have when we first started. So I think a lot of the players need to take advantage, and that's something that I've seen. And like Cici say, I mean, there's a lot of great talent. There's a lot of great talent in this gang, and I think we need to go back into drafting guys that can go deep in the game, guys that was great matchup. I remember early in my career, great matchup facing Roger Clemens and guys in the game. Now you only got guys out there that after the 5th inning they're out. It's hard to see like a complete game from your starting pitcher, because they want to get power on it, which is okay, but I think we need to get back into that.
So let's talk about some of the changes that everyone has alluded to, but we've sort of been on the periphery of it, and we really haven't gotten right into it. And when I found out that both of these guys were going to be on stage with me, I was like, well, this is perfect because I can get the hitters and pitchers' perspective on these changes, and I know they're going to be different. So, Albert, you first. The pitch clock, getting rid of the shift, do you like it or not?
Well, I think it's awesome. I wish, that we had that earlier. I mean, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I probably would have still playing if we would have had that shift. So I think it's great for the game, and you see, talking to the players, I know there was a lot of talk. Guys need to get used to, but as a player, as an athlete, it only takes a couple of weeks for us to get used to something. And I know early in spring training last year, people were complaining about it. I don't know if this was going to work, but it's awesome for the fans. Now you see a great game and you see 30 and 40,000 people staying, because the games are going so fast. So I think it's a great thing the commissioner has done. And I think what I love about the commissioner is that he's open to continue to grow the game and to make it better. And that's why he has brought, the former players to be part through this ambassador program.
I mean, if you look at the other sports, they change all the time. Look at the kickoff rule we watch it right now in NFL. Like, they're always changing it. Like, the sports are always changing the rules. So with baseball, it was, a big deal about us putting in the pitch clock and getting rid of the shift, but it's made the game a lot better. And, for me, as far as the rule changes, I think we're trying to make a lot of rules to help hitters, right? To put more offense in and make more action. But I think the philosophy of hitting has to change. Like, there has to be more complete hitters like this guy, or a guy like Shohei Ohtani, where you get the 2 strikes and they're trying to put the ball in play. A lot of these guys are not doing that, so that's why you see the lack of offense. So I feel like we're changing a lot of the rules to help these guys hit, and they don't want to change the philosophy. So we're just changing rules to help.